Yo, 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 what up? This your boy Ron Flip the Gym, man. Ron Flip the Uganichi, man. And I'm back with another Jumpman reaction video to the movie called Woman in the Yard. When I seen the trailer, I was like, oh, I got to go see it. This junk gonna be lit. You know what I'm saying? I know this joint got some spiritual decodes, and I know this joint is indirectly talking about us melanated people, us 90 beings, you know what I'm saying, us light beings, us indigenous people of America. You know what I'm saying? I knew this joint was about us. So I went to go see it, and I ain't gonna lie, like, I was trying to process this junk. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, what is this joint? Like, what is this joint getting at? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it took near the end of the movie for me to be like, oh, this what this joint was about. And it's crazy how I as I was leaving out of the theater, this other melanated couple, you know what I'm saying, this melanated brother, both of them, you know what I'm saying, they asked me, they were like, man, what do you think about that joint? Because I was still processing the downloads for this joint. And I was like, I gave him a quick synopsis, a quick decode. I was like, bruh, for real, once I found out that the woman in the yard was actually her, coming for her own self, I said, and my best friend, she asked me the same thing when I seen her coming out the movies when I was going yesterday, when I was going to the movies to see something else. So I was like, I told her the same thing. Once I found out it was her, coming for her, you know what I'm saying? I say basically the message in the movie was shadow work. You know what I'm saying? She needed to do shadow work. You know what I'm saying? But she had to go through some trauma to do her shadow work. You know what I'm saying? To wake her up and to learn from her lessons and heal. You know what I'm saying? And dude was like, yeah, yeah. He said, now I see it. I get that. I see it now. So that's what the woman in the yard was about. You know what I'm saying? But I did take some notes because I don't want to leave nothing out because, you know, I had more downloads on the job. So, like I said, woman in the yard was her lower self. She was dealing with her lower self the whole time. She had to do shadow work. You know what I'm saying? Her and her husband in the movie and, you know, her two kids, they moved to this fixer-upper house. You know what I'm saying? That he was fixing up. Spoiler alert, that he was fixing up. And he ended up passing away in a car accident that they was in after they had left for dinner. You know what I'm saying? But he always used to tell her, I'm gonna name this, you know what I'm saying? We got, he was like, we got to name this house. And she was like, we ain't got to name nothing. You know what I'm saying? He was like, baby, I done put all my energy into this house. We got to give it a name. You know what I'm saying? So he never got a chance to give it a name. You know what I'm saying? Because he had passed away. But near the end of the movie, she ended up naming the house Iris Haven. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I'm looking at my notes. So so I already said that. So yeah, so Iris is short for Osiris, one of the mythology Egyptian Kemetic Egyptian gods. You know what I'm saying? Iris is in the name Osiris. Haven means safe place. Osiris' wife is Isis. You know what I'm saying? And if you know, you know, America is the real Egypt. You know what I'm saying? The character name in this joint was Ramona. But at the end of the movie, because she used to do paintings and stuff, you know what I'm saying, canvas paintings and stuff. And near the end of the movie, she signed one of her paintings with her name backwards, Ramona. So it was Anoma, Anomar. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna come back to that. All right. We're gonna come back to that. Give me a second. I'm trying to turn the page. I got my notes. Class is in session. So, in Egyptian mythology, Osiris' wife and sister was Isis, a goddess known for her magic, healing, and role in the myth of Osiris' resurrection and the birth of their son Horus, which was born on 12/25. Now you know where they got the so-called Jesus from. Got a piece of that right there. Oh, damn, that was just a great curled up. Wisdom. That's what that is. Anyway, so, Osiris and Isis, the divine couple. Osiris, the god of the afterlife and ruler of the underworld, was deeply in love with his sister and wife Isis, who was a goddess of motherhood, magic, fertility, death, and healing. But if y'all know, these mythology gods was basically symbolic to energy within us. That's how the Egyptians did that. If you want to know more about that, go follow my brother Reginald Martin on YouTube. I forgot the name of his channel. Comedic something. I just show it at the end of this video somewhere. Matter of fact, while I'm mentioning it, I'm gonna just show like a little screenshot of it. So, in carbohydrate chemistry, an anomer, ANOMAR, refers to a pair of cycle stereoisomers, disaster mirrors that differ only in the orientation of atoms or groups at the atomic carbon. So they talk about carbon. We're carbonated beings, 666, 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. So if you know, you know. I said I would come back to it. So they're talking about the melanated people. You know what I'm saying? Isis Haven. Basically talking about, this is our land. This is our land. So her name spelled backwards, talking about carbon atoms that form hermetically linkage in the cycle form of a sugar. Yeah, that's the science of Ramona, that was her name. Let's see what Ramona means. Ramona is usually a feminine given name, the feminine form of Ramon, Spanish, and Raymond, Old German, meaning wise protector. She was a wise protector in this joint of her kids in this movie. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to put the 2 and 2 together in these jobs, man. Because they put the information right in your face. I got a couple more pages. Yeah, I think I got a couple more. Nope. Damn, I do got a couple more. So, somebody asked, was the woman in the yard a demonic move? Nah, it gives a demonic feel in the movie, but anything that's about our spirituality and about us, you know what I'm saying, they do that in movies so you can feel yourself and want no self. You know what I'm saying? It flirts with a little suicide and physical abuse in the movie, you know what I'm saying? That Ramona was going through with herself for the loss of her husband. She wanted to off herself. So that's why in the trailer, the woman in the yard kept on saying, today's the day, today's the day. So basically her lower self was coming after herself because higher self couldn't get herself together, you know what I'm saying? She couldn't deal with the pain. But she finally she finally overcame it and learned how to deal with it and balance all that. Once you learn how to balance all your lower self trauma and pain, you know how to transmute that. And she became a better person, a stronger person, and a wiser person, and a protector for herself and her kids. Just telling you, this movie was telling y'all, work on your trauma, work on your shadow work. Go tap into your past traumas and stuff. Today's the day. I said, I'm gonna figure this movie out. I said, today's the day. What is the woman in the yard about ending this? The ending explained. Sure enough, the final act of the movie has Ramona switching places with the woman, confirming that they were always two parts of the same whole. They was one, higher self, lower self. You know what I'm saying? When the woman in the yard came to her, she told her, I'm the person in the corners of your mind. You can create lower vibrational entities within your universe. When you're vibrating low, you can create higher self entities in your universe when you're vibrating high. Hey man, we some special motherfuckers, bro. Only if you know. Only if you can tap in, you can tap in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she was very depressing, very suicidal in this movie. A lot of our people going through that. You know what I'm saying? People gotta do that shadow work. So, you know, Ramona becomes crippled by grief after her husband dies in a car accident, like I said, leaving her to care for her two children alone in her rural farmhouse. Her sadness soon turns to fear, you know what I'm saying, when a spectral woman in black appears on her front lawn, warning her, today's the day. As the mysterious figure creeps closer and closer to the house, Ramona realized she must protect her children from the evil woman who simply won't leave them alone, which was her lower self the whole time. Hey, like the manager of the theater asked me, he said, what you think about that movie? He asked me yesterday after I came out of seeing another movie. And I was like, I heard other people come out the movie say they didn't like it because, the trailer did mislead people thinking it was going to be like more than what it is. But if you don't get the message, you're going to think it wasn't a good movie. He was like, because he didn't see it. He kept on hearing negative stuff about it. He was like, once he took that in, he was like, right. Yeah. So this don't get 5 popcorns because I understand and overstand it. Peace, I'm out. Wadu.